Well, okay, welcome back to another Vintage Story stream. Yeah, today I'm going to continue to build the secret underground part of the house and do it in survival multiplayer, which really is a lie since not really many people are online at this time. Or at all, we're like four people left. But melancholy aside, let's quickly go over through the incredible fun things that I did between this and the last stream. Well, first off, I did something incredible. Something unprecedented. Yes, I did get resources. Not only some resources, but the resources I need to do the thing that I want to do on stream. Oh, thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I did get a bunch of granite and stuff, but let's quickly go over something very interesting, very fun. Well, it's not really fun, it's just annoying, really. So, as you can see, I have some nice cooked red meat. That was because I didn't cook any of my grains. Now, what does that mean? I didn't cook any of my grains, that's why I have red meat. Yes, I did lots of traveling, I did lots of going from commodity trader to commodity trader to another commodity trader to get all the candles that I need, which I have gotten, 10 of them, and used basically all my copper to make 10 lanterns, so that's pretty cool. But on the way, I obviously didn't want to take cooked stuff with me to fill my inventory, so I just took a stack of grain with me all the time, and then I sort of ran out. Yeah, I ran out of grain. And that was pretty sad. Of course, I didn't have any vegetables. Still soybean, but for that I need brine. And then I was like, you know what? I have a smart idea. I'm going to just kill a few of the sheep and leave, like, one male, one female. But, well, long story short, I did kill one male and then two. And then there was no point in just having the lone female down there, so, yeah. I'm sure there will be livestock arriving through other means. Oh hey, Bitcoder, how are you doing? But yeah, I have been doing things, yes. But yeah, let's continue to go over the amazing things that I did while between streams, yes. I noticed also there's William. Hey William. He does not attack any animals or anything that attacks you except for locusts. So that's cool. um, but yeah. Then I also did help run over to here and did get all of the chart stuff for building the underground construction, which is also pretty good. Yeah, it's quite a big map. But yeah, in case you didn't hear me at the beginning, the SMP is technically true, but most people have stopped playing. But the village is cute. If you want, I can quickly run through and like show you the area where most people live. But yeah, I did get lots of granite ore by going through the thing. Did also get lots of marble. But let's quickly go to the secret underground part. Hi. Stop. Okay, let's hope that they don't spawn any armadas. They might. But yeah, let's just do this walking, runningly, fast. I did make the room like up to 10 blocks high, and I really think it really helps the room. It makes it look more imposing, so to speak, as opposed to like, what was it, 7? But yeah, let's quickly flee after showcasing all the lovely chud. and then go up and go to sleep, otherwise I will just continue to drown in a armada of drifters. And since William doesn't do anything, except looking cute, he's going to stay up here. Which sound effect? I mean, maybe they have, devs maybe have that from the, like, public library, since there's quite some, many dev studios use the same sound libraries. But yeah, let's go to sleep, get through the night. Oh, maybe. I'm not I never played the game, and I don't think ever really heard it, so I don't really know. But yeah, could be. Yeah, SMP just stands for Survival Multiplayer. It's a fancy word of saying you play on a server. But yeah, this is my lovely house. Nice and cute. And part of a very complicated, intricate revenge plan, which I'm going to enact soon. Because the map was switched, which was the first map for the new update was pretty cool, and then we switched to this one. But I'm working on this revenge like 5 weeks now. But like I said, nobody's here. But yeah, let's quickly get rid of the people, the drifters down here. And after that, get the marble and start working on the pillars after. Ouch! Stop! After putting some lights in the corners. I didn't have a lantern. Okay, let's. Nice. Oh, thank you for the raid. It's Relic with 4 viewers. Thank you. Hope it's not going to be as boring as I fear it might be, but yeah. Today I'm going to play some blocks in a big block in a block game. But yeah. Oh yeah, let's quickly. Now let's get the marble blocks and then go down there and place all of the lights so that the drifters finally stop spawning all the time. Yeah, let's take 4 stacks, that should be enough. By the way, regarding the library, I'm probably going to see whether or not I'm going to make it out of marble. Like one sort of small design-ish, I need a shovel, thing had me at like 600, around 600 marble blocks. So I'm not sure if I'm able to reach that, but maybe I could. Ooh, no. Yeah, let's quickly make a simple shovel out of granite stone. Do I still have some? Yes, very good. By the way, in case I know I sound very self-conscious, but yeah, if it sounds too boring, I mean, yeah. But I hope it's going well, so I'm just going to focus on the game. And also, thank you for the follow. It's Relic, or just Relic, I suppose. But yeah, let's go and do some shoveling after placing all of these in the corners. Also, in case anybody is wondering why there is lots of drifters spawning in here, it's not only because the corners are very dark, it's because, and I'm going to show you it in a second, it is because... Oh, hello. Okay, that's fair. But yeah, when I didn't have the lights here, it was like 20 to 40 drifters just hanging out in this area, having a good time. And that is because I was super fortunate to have this area right here, which seems to be a magnet for just having tons of drifters spawning. At some point I'm going to try to make this in a cool looking room with cool stuff, but I would have to get lots of materials, and I do tend to procrastinate that part a tiny bit. But yeah, let's go and do some shoveling. But yeah, I should have enough chart if my math is correct for the ground path floor area. I would need around 5-ish stacks. Although I thought I maybe should get 6 just for good measure. I have 5 and hopefully that it's enough. But yeah. I should have made a better shovel. Maybe I should get the, like, what's it called? Resonance... No, it's no longer called Resonance Archive, but the tube thing, the cylinder thing, to get some cool and epic and fun music. Let's quickly get that, because we are just deep enough for the music to not be there, which works quite good for dramatic effect when this thing is finished at some point. But right now it feels awkwardly silent, so let me quickly put stuff in chests and then continue. Okay, bloop. Should all work. Wait, no, I can just, no, let's just leave that there. Ow. And 1, 2, and 2. Let's get random comet music. That should work. And now everybody has left. Oh well, okay, then I don't need to worry about that, so let's just continue digging full of yeah. Yeah, I know you're still here. But I was talking about, well, I assumed you. Yeah. Well, let's just do some digging. Maybe the, what's it called? Resonator scared everyone away. Yes. Okay, the plan is going to be to have the chart be on the floor in the middle to sort of bring more color into it and not have it to look too boring and monotone. And then on the side walls, I thought about getting like chart blocks to make that, because I thought, yeah, maybe that's going to be a neat contrast with the ebony wood. But yeah, that's too much work to get, like, what was it, 200, 400 of those rocks, and I would probably run through like 5, 6 or something iron pickaxes to get to that. Oh yeah. Oh, but on the plus side, I did find some charcoal, which is pretty good, which means that I can soon fix the other Blackguard armor set that I have. And then I can do cool adventures with that. Mainly probably going to go after locust nests to be able to build the terminus teleporter, since that one seems to be very useful. Yeah, I need to remove those blocks and turn those into slabs. What was the 1, 3, 4, 5? Okay. Yeah. Let's quickly get the resonator back upstairs. Actually, why don't I take William with me? Hello. Okay, let's take that again, and bloop. Pretty good. Wait. Pretty good. Okay. Let's continue. Yeah. But don't worry. In like 2 hours, this room will look very exciting. But yeah, let's continue to talk about stuff to counteract the silence. What I'm thinking about, I'm probably going to let the pillars unchiseled for now. The plan or idea at first was to have them sort of be round-ish. But I'm not sure how well they are going to stack if I do decide to use all of the marble for the library building on the, like, top. Like, overground. So, yeah. But I really would have to make a ton of pickaxes for that, since half the mountain is some weirdly convoluted marble veins. Veins. By the way, BitGutter, if you want to see the village, just let me. I'm just going to. If you want to see it, let me know, then I can quickly run through it. Okay, pretty cool, pretty nice. Also, I'm probably going to stay with using a normal fence for this, because chiseling one seems too much of a pain to do. Okay, let's quickly eat that. I mean, it's a pretty cool feature that you can sort of pick up the ladder, but at the same time, it's a bit annoying when you accidentally remove it. Okay. But yeah, let's quickly get over there and show you the nearest buildings. For VOD viewers who, with no doubt, are following this series with anticipation, yeah, nothing really has changed all that much, except for winter being over. But yeah, maybe some people are going to come back once they know. Oh, this is Spoigus' house. It's a house. Oh yeah, the village itself, except for the maybe floating bees, is pretty cool, pretty nice. Some cool buildings. Yeah, I think this was the smithing house from Jack. Pretty cool, pretty epic. And I think this one was the community house, with some people living upstairs, and a small library. Pretty cool, pretty nice. Yes. I really like the addition of the support bars that has been added to the game. Pretty cool. Then we have some fields that haven't been tended to for quite some time. Let me quickly... Yeah. I feel like rabbits spawn inside of here. Then we have a nice little greenhouse over here, which also is not doing too good. And yeah, the overflowing chicken area. Let me quickly run around. Also the public windmill. Looks pretty neat, pretty cool. Still not sure what is going on over here, but it's going. Maybe. Okay. I was confused. But yeah, pretty cool. Somebody's making steel, or has been, 4 weeks ago. Yeah. Then we have the hog area. Chickens. And the hogs just multiplying everywhere. By the way, I think around this area is a sort of hog spawn, maybe? But yeah, then we have this house from Muttonus. Pretty neat, pretty cool. Yes. Also, I'm not going inside the houses because I'm not sure if anybody wants that. Meaning the people that have built their houses. Then we have a neat little public bloomery building, which looks like a giant bloomery. Pretty cool. Even with like 4 steel making things, which I'm probably going to try to build my own. But yeah, pretty cool. I really like that it looks like a giant bloomery. Then over here is the oak tree farm, which I was going to be like, yes, replant. But unfortunately, there is no chairs to do that. But at least a ton of free sticks. But yeah, I need to get some oak saplings to put in here. Probably should make myself some shares. This is person's house, which is, or has been rather, occupied by chickens for over 5 weeks. And then let's quickly go down here. I think over here did live, yes, slime. Pretty neat house. Quite cool. Yeah. No. Okay, anything? No. Anything interesting inside? Yes, lots of chests. Not sure who lives here. It might just be a sort of storage house of slime. Ooh. Wonder when those were planted. Then over here lives, I think, Spoigus with... He has a talking is difficult. But he has built a lovely bridge. Pretty cool. Pretty nice. Also quite interesting name for his house. Oh no, this is Papa Bean's coom cabana. Yeah, let's not stay around here for too long. But yeah, let's quickly circle back, and that should be the houses in the closest vicinity. Also some hogs. Yes. Yeah, not sure who lives over there, but they live there. Yes. Very good commentary. But yeah, also neat house. Pretty neat. Let's quickly run over here. Not sure who lives over there in the house with the floating glass panels, but They have been building lots of the, not necessarily very visible right now, but public infrastructure with all of the paths and stuff. Then quickly over here we have Lushy's lighthouse thing, which sadly has not been continued to be built. But yeah, pretty neat, pretty cool. Nice greenhouse, not really has not really been used all that much. And yeah, let's quickly run over to Oopsie Lambda's house, which is pretty much a big castle. Also, not to forget about Azrael's cube, the cube, which he said he's going to continue to grow, but not sure when that is going to be. But I'm actually quite interested in what the final product looks like. And now let's find a good place to spy on this castle. Yes. Oh, he caught a bear. Pretty cool. And then even has a little sort of moat thing. That's pretty cool. Windmill on top. And I don't want to break in, but I want to show the place. Yeah. Awkwardly climbing up a hill and looking inside is fair game. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty nice. And then of course, oops. Nearby somebody lives here and there. Then over here lives Ginger in a very lovely looking house, and up here lives, I think, Spygers, also in a rather big house. And then over here Velvian is building a sort of mountain castle. But since they are a tiny bit away, let's quickly run back and continue with building the house. I mean, the thing, yes. It's not. I'm a bit too nervous today, so I'm going to make lots of noises and less words. But Vintage Story itself is not Minecraft, but I think it was a Minecraft modded first. It even has a funny little command there in the top left. But I think the different difference is that Vintage Story is using a different coding language compared to Java. I think it was C++ or something. Anyways, it's pretty cool, pretty nice. And okay, oops. But okay, I'm going to say but okay a lot. Okay, nothing really has spawned, pretty nice. And let's make a axe to remove the blocks. Start with the pillars in the middle, and then after that move forward to making the rest. Oh hey, Karma 4521, how are you doing? I don't really stutter. The second one, it's basically lots of social anxiety and brain damage. But yeah, sometimes not good in talking, and yeah, basically that. But it's It's not too bad most of the time, I suppose. But yeah. But I don't think I have a stutter. I'm just stumbling over words more than once. Okay, how high was this? 3. Just more light up here all of a sudden. Okay, thanks. Okay, that has been removed. Let's throw the axe away for another shovel. And instead of breaking blocks, let's go and play some. Please, get up. Also, hopefully there should be no temporal storm. I think the last one was 5-ish days ago. But yeah, plan for today is going to be mostly placing blocks and figuring that out. And doing like detail work, which is mainly going to be chiseling and stuff, is going to be a separate stream. And then... yeah. The reason is to figure out how to properly build a thing, or basically how it looks, and then to go from there. Okay, that's these pillars done. Let's quickly remove the dirt, and then I can use the pillars themselves as construction stuff. By the way, I already may have said it once, but if Vintage Story really should adopt something from Minecraft, it's the like construction scaffolding. I think that's pretty cool. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. Let's get the bases down. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was one too many. Vintage Story itself is not on Steam as far as I know, but it does have its own website where you can download it from. And I think it costs like 20 currency, $20 or so. Yeah, pretty good deal. It's getting continuous updates. Even has a sort of story mode, I suppose. But yeah, you can like visit a cool endgame dungeon, which has been added with this update. And they're going to add more story stuff over time. But yeah, it has its own website where you can buy and download it from. Just type the name of the game into Google and you should be able to find it. And I think it's only going to be on Steam once they have like finished the game. I think it's still in early access or something. Don't quote me on that. Oh. Okay, looks like I may not... If I don't have enough marble for this, then I'm going to scream. Because that would mean that I would have to get more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's quickly count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. yeah. And today is unfortunately apparently one of those days where I'm struggling to find stuff to talk about. Do any of you have any topics they want to talk about? um, up. Okay, pretty good. Ouch. 2, 3, 4. I think this is going to be the last pillar. And then I can move on to placing the floor. Now let's make the walls after this. By the way, I thought about... I'm probably going to make the chiseling wall things, parts, yes. Like the wall murals. Which I wanted to do much earlier. On the, like, inner wall. Which I think is going to work quite well. Yeah, looks okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. Well. Time to place a ton of blocks. Yeah, that makes sense. What was the distance? Distance? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, I think it was 5. Okay, let's quickly place all of these. Not sure really what to put in the walls over there. Wait, 1, 2. I should have left some of those things standing. Okay, now I'm very much confused. Good job. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, the distance of the wood was 2. Is any... And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, okay. No, okay, yeah. Now I know what I did wrong. This just needs to be moved 1 to the right. Because I remember that the inner room behind the wall was 5. Luckily I still have tons of this rock. And according to my math, it should be enough to fill up all of the walls. These. Let's just make a basic layout and then go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bloop. Okay. Let's see. Maybe if it looks similar, I remember what the correct one was. Yeah, looks pretty accurate. Yeah. Okay, that is the correct distance. Because I did want to have a neat space between the walkway out of wood and the pillars, so it doesn't look too cramped. not sure where to put walls, but let's make this at least this high. What to talk about? Yeah, let's just place some blocks first. But I could actually place the resonator down here. At least then there is some noise. Now this is exciting gameplay. Also, let me drink some water. I feel like I make too many sounds. Okay. Wait, was this 1, 2, 3, 4? Oh. 1. Well, it's... I really should have left the dirt standing. But progress is slowly being made. Also, let's make a sort of dirt staircase right here so I can easily get back up. Oh yeah, the issue is... Now I'm going to leave this wall down for now and then figure out how to make the walkway, because what I want to do is to have it be U-shaped and go around the entire thing. But over here it would be, I think, too close. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I could fill this area with a staircase. That could work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sort of. Then that block would be here. Then I would only have 2 to put stuff in. Or realistically, 1. How many do I have of these? Okay. Yes. Let's put some down over... Let me try to visualize the plan that I have. Maybe that will help. Okay, then this thing goes... Oh. Yeah, this might take one of you a few minutes. Okay, the staircase would be on the outside, and then that would be the wall. And the rooms would be too big, and I could put a staircase on this side. like a sort of spiral staircase that goes up, as well as over here. And then, I don't know, rooms for things, which are definitely going to be very useful. Yeah, let's go with that. I can still change it afterward if necessary. Yeah. Just, hey, at least then I have more reason to build the giant quarry to get blocks. If this turns out to be not a great idea. But yeah, this would then really be the wall, and should hopefully work. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to awkwardly stand here and quickly check the VOD of the broadcast so far to see what the distance was. So please excuse me for a second. Okay, where's my VOD? I could... Please wait. Oh. Can I watch this? Okay, yes. Let's mute that. Okay, I can see myself. Okay, I'm going up a ladder. Okay, this might take like 2 minutes. I really just want to get the distance of the wall down. Okay. Yeah, it seems like it's sort of correct. Just 1 more minute. I'll wait. Okay, I really hope I have the correct distance. Okay, really helps when you just don't know what you're doing. Okay, let's continue. I'm going to... almost there. But it does seem that 4 away from the pillars is the correct distance. Just quickly skip through this part. Ooh. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there is a wall. Okay, I almost got it. Almost. Please, just remove the wall. Currently. Okay. I'm at the part where I was removing the wall. Just a few more seconds. Okay. Okay, just found the part where I was counting the distance. 20 seconds. Then I'm done. Okay, almost there. I'm really sorry for... Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, pretty epic, pretty cool. Okay, after some extensive research, I found out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is indeed the correct distance. So, yeah. Let's continue. By the way, if anybody wants to hear more of the elevator music, let me know. Maybe I should get a... Nah, usually the in-game music works fine. It's just that right now, it's sort of just ominous cave music. Okay, might actually have enough blocks. Also, I also did some math. Which means that I used a calculator because I actually cannot do math. And I think with the ebony wood that I have, I should have enough for the walkways and the normal fences. And sticks for those should not be a problem since 3 sticks are available, luckily. By the way, I have no idea where to put doors, but turns out these lights are pretty convenient now. Oh, I really hope that the gasifier from the archive is going to be available at some point, because that was pretty epic. Get some more... Ow. More of these and put those in there. Quickly eat something and then complete the roundabout. Hello. Okay, pretty cool. Also, why did you participate? Okay, let's continue. One, two. Okay, hopefully he doesn't just jump into the way of my block placement. Okay. Oh, also recently I thought about if it would be possible to, if they were if they were to add crafting of locusts and stuff, that technically, lore-wise, I suppose, it would probably not possible to construct William, since he is a corrupted locust, and from what I could gather, corrupted things have been corrupted, yes, when the Resonance Archive was activated. So, yeah, not sure how that is going to work out. But it would be pretty epic if you could build Williams, since you can already fight William. Jeez. Get over here. He does not want me to continue building this. No. Now I completely forgot what I was going to say. Please move. Okay, thank you. But I hope that at least bronze locust will be possible. Ah yeah, since you can find like locust parts and stuff. Sadly, you can only find them as like random drops in the archive one time. And I was lucky enough to get some of them to be able to place in my room for William, which I still need to finish along with the rest of the house. And yeah, William. Yeah. You know what you should be able to do? Hack sawblade locusts. Yes. I think that would be fair and balanced. But it would be pretty cool. Almost there. Sort of. William. Oh, I still need to write my suggestion for nuclear power in the game, based on the idea, or sort of, it's really more of a joke that, like, because the lore entry for the temple gears, well, the sort of flavor text, says that it does seem to endlessly turn a constant level of inertia even when resisted. So on that basis, you could theoretically build giant gearboxes that work off the constantly spinning temporal gears and produce infinite energy. And obviously the logical consequence from that is not only the capacity to build helicopters, but also centrifuges for the enrichment of uranium. Which, believe it or not, is in the game files. I think the reason it is in there is mostly for mods and stuff, but I want to power my centrifuges with temporal gears so I can finally reasonably respond fair and collected to when the game decides to bless me with some medium rift activity, which basically just means spawning 20 of them for some reason. Yeah. Okay, when in doubt, just recycle a topic from a previous stream. Always works. But joke of nuclear power aside, it would be cool if you could use temporal gears to power windmills at a like constant slow turning speed. That would be cool. William, get over here. I think judging by the, let's quickly, go over here. By this speed, it would be slower than like turning a quern by hand, simply judging by how it spins in this. But it would be constant power, and technically you could make a big contraption of powertrains with multiple of these, and then make small gear, big gear, small gear, and then make the thing go faster. So yeah, like I said, unlimited power, unlimited potential with the temporal gears. just need to word the thing correctly. Okay, let's go and get some more stones. Probably going to make the floor out of wood. Ugh. Ow. Up. Let's just get all of them. Hello, William. You know what? You get over here. Just sort of wait right there. Okay, that looks pretty okay. Maybe except for the repeating texture map, but it's a block game, so those do exist. Okay, pretty cool, pretty epic, pretty nice. Okay, the iron saw that I have upstairs should be enough for cutting all of the ebony wood. I'm still not sure how to pronounce the word. I probably should look it up as a reasonable measure. But yeah. Also, this game needs guns. We have translocators, teleporters, we have small little William robot locusts and stuff. Why can't I build a musket? I need to defend myself from the drifter hordes always coming at the worst moment. Like earlier, before the stream, I was doing some innocent smithing, and since my smithing forge area is outside, suddenly in the middle of the night, oh, no damage. In the middle of the night, 20 drifters spawned on me. All I'm saying is I need a cannon for home defense. We can already make ore blasting bombs. We can already make and cast iron. So why is there no cannon? Why can I just cast my cannon in some giant mold and just, I don't know, place it right here? Why? Explain. Okay, that is all of that. Let's quickly William. Okay, that might be a slight problem. I think it's cute that they run around when told to wait and just fall everywhere. But it depends on the room. William, please. Come here. What's the sound you make when you want to... Oh, here we go. Have a cat come to you. I suppose. I'm just not sure how it sounds when I try to make it on the microphone. But okay. Let's deposit these. And then use them someday. And up and boop. I can keep the 21 since I still need to figure out where to put all of the things. Okay. Oh, let's leave that there for now. Wood. The time. Oh, pretty good. Also, I should go and plant some stuff. Wrong chest. Sure, let's carry those logs as well. So right here. I'm almost confident that is enough durability. Almost. I really like the mood change from going down there to up here, with the music just starting. Also, not really sure what to do. What? Oh, did I make it too small? Is it now rated at... Oh. Oh. Huh. Well, this is now rated as a building. Frick. Yeah. Now I'm angry. Man, it was so cool to go down here and then the happy music stops and it goes to the other one. Okay, let's make a bunch of these. Also, let's make them only horizontal. Otherwise, I'm probably going to go insane trying to place them. Hey, but at least I don't need to worry about awkward silence all that much now. Okay, also let's make the path for the floorboards. I forgot. Do these fall down? No. Good. Neato. Please stop. Yeah, the plan is to make first a sort of standard path. Have it be 3 wide in the middle and then 2 wide extending in this direction. And then sort of figure out the whole deal of where to place the doors. Yes. Wow, exciting. At least William is having fun teleporting all around. Okay. I wish I had a steel pickaxe, since that would make this go quite faster. But I don't want to stay here for a few hours right next to a furnace, refueling the coal all the time, since I can't leave it unattended due to it being a server where somebody just might log in, do the thing and not obviously realize that my steel furnace has run out of coal. By the way, is it even faster? See, stone 7.5, steel. Oh, 9. Yeah, it's slightly faster. Yeah. I mean, depending on how long the map for the server is going to stay, probably going to manage to make some steel. That would be cool. Let's make this go sort of like this. Now, what if it turns out to look awful? What do I do then? Yes. Something. Okay, there's a new music track, so it really is a room now. Damn it. Mm. Okay, pretty nice. Okay, I'm already dreading the part where I need to figure out the staircase. Maybe I should just go and make a very short and quick trip to the Resonance archive to be um, inspired by how the staircase looks over there. Yes. That's what my lawyer told me to say, that I was inspired. Coincidentally. Okay. Eh. Do I make this loop around here? I mean, I guess. But yeah, let's get the basic paths going. I'm sorry. Now, how the heck do I place doors? Where? Oh. Well, let's place the main path down. Ooh. Color. Okay. It does add to the room. Originally, I really just wanted to make the entire thing out of granite to really reinforce the idea that it was carved into the stone. But then I unfortunately found the tons of marble, so here I am, trying to do fancy stuff. It would be cool if there was an option to remove the repeating texture, like this part. That would be cool. Don't worry, if you look at it long enough, it will start to look good. Maybe. Let's just keep building and see how it ends. What I was also thinking about for this is going to getting some slate. No, where is it? Right here. Which is a fairly black block, which I still have to harvest. But to put like an accent line on the side, that's like, yeah, sort of like, yeah, like this wide. Well, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like 4 pixels on the side. I think this could salvage it. But for that I obviously still have to get the stuff. But yeah, that's why I want to make the detail work stream its own thing. Since I also need to get all of the various block types. Okay, this looks... It looks, yes. And I can have this extend to this part. Looks a bit awkward when you walk in and then there is like one block of granite over here. Yeah, let's also extend the thing over here. And then the detail... Okay. The details of the pathfinding I have to work out. I could try to... Yeah, then maybe interconnect them like this is one idea. And then have there be one block around the pillars. But to have that work visually, or at least not be weird. Also have... It's loud. Also have the distance between the red and the... Have it be one block over here as well. But for that, I think I would have needed the... Or do need the 6th stack. But let's see how it is taking form. Oh. Also, I thought about adding a fountain, not down here, but for the museum. That would be cool. I hope. But yeah, if I end up like having what, 40 stacks? Oh, yeah, I needed 20 stacks. So maybe I'm going to remove these pillars, make them into granite, and then we'll see. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do some math right now, so let's just continue like this. Because it does look weird when you go this way and then it's just that. What do I do if the server map is going to disappear one way or another in like a week? What do I do then? Hopefully it won't happen, since we don't have any mods on the server which would make that happen. Because on the old maps the server crashed for various reasons, and more than once, for some reason, just deleted the map. That was pretty cool. I mean, on one hand, it gave us Cock Mountain on the map that we, or I and 4 other people, played on before 1.18. And the mountain, as it sounds, was a naturally generated mountain that did look indeed very phallic from one side. And yeah. But it shouldn't hopefully happen. Even the server does restart, like I think 2 times a day, so that it does not crash from too many entities loaded and too many chunks loaded. And I don't think it has really crashed so far. And it's probably because there's not many players doing lots of things. Like, I don't know, metalworking with 15 with 15 health hammers running simultaneously, or something like that. But funnily enough, the server on a previous map did crash because Valvian had a hole with around, I think 600, or was it 6,000? Yeah, I think it was really around like 500, 600, around that. Rabbits in one hole. So that was interesting. And then the server crashed because of too many entities. But yeah, pretty cool, pretty epic. And I might be able to add more blocks on each side. Yeah. Let's quickly add those, because it does look a bit weird. Now I have to put a door every side here. The accent line with the black stone, with the slate, are definitely going to save this. Definitely. Yes. I would have tried to make like a inhaling sound effect. Like, because I was getting lots of copium at that moment, which probably sounds very weird if you don't have no idea what I mean. It would probably have sounded very weird. It worked, sort of. Okay. Ooh. Now I'm great at math. William. What are you doing? Oh no, we have the scary music back. But okay, this sort of floor is not final. It's pretty much placeholder. And it's definitely going to be salvaged by the slate. But by the way, there's still around 3 people here. Anybody have some thing to say? Because I think it looks... I don't really like the contrast between the marble and the red stuff on the ground. Maybe I could try to fill the entire ground with polished granite, but not really. Yeah. Maybe it will turn out good. But yeah, let's go and make some sidewalks. Walks on the side. Oh, maybe each of this could be a small room, a very small room. Okay, that has been removed. It is time. Oh, wait. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Do I want this orientation or can I get it different? I could if I had the thing. No, this works. Up, up. But I'm going to make a wrench and try to rotate the thing. and experiment with that way, since I do have a not too good history of experimenting with block rotations on stream. Ah, good job. But what if the rotation just rotates its orientation? Huh. Fair enough. Bup. Okay, one stack does get me pretty far. Okay, since I do seem still to have enough of the wood, and thanks to the one translocator, have a relatively easy access to the biome where the ebony tree spawns. Although I could plant it myself since it's beginning to be summer. I could experiment with support things. What are they called? Like the support beams. And see if I can make this look good. But I think the like walkway. I hate this light effect. Why? But yeah, the walkway definitely does need some support. Maybe I already have enough. Maybe I should use full blocks. Man, do I not like this lighting effect. But I could theoretically inquire with the devs if that is intentional or some bug that is unfixable. Okay, let's get a stack of these. Okay, pretty good. Make a lovely and aesthetically pleasing dirt staircase. Wow. Now look at this. Cool. Okay. Don't tell me what I think you're going to tell me. The good news is, I don't have to worry about the effect from the slab anymore. But can I place this like... Oh my god. Please. Please, tell... Of course. Oh my... Why? Just tell me what I... So I can be more disappointed in myself. Oh my... Why? Cool. I should make an iron axe. Let's quickly make one of those. I might need that. Okay, that should go by relatively quickly. Okay, 1, 2. It's always those small little annoying things. Let's quickly. Let's put that back in here. And Look. But okay, 2. No, of course, more drifters approaching. 2 should be enough. Yeah. Stop. I do not have any ammo. Please stop. Okay. Rift activity is medium. Hopefully that changes. Ooh, that's pretty poggers. Cool. Let's quickly light this up and then wait. I should have remembered that the slabs have like variable, that you can either place them here or here. Kickstart. Ow. Oh, please stop. Ow. Hey, at least we have an additional temporal gear. Okay, let's just throw some rocks into the distance. Okay, that seems hot enough. And if this is going to be one of those blooms that have one voxel missing, I'm going to scream. Oh, by the way, I did mention one time, a stream ago, that I didn't have yet any encountered those. But I recently had one up. Wow. Recently had one where there was one voxel missing. Stop running away. Okay, let's continue. But this does look pretty good. Oops. Good job. Okay, nice. Would still be pretty awesome if you could like regain iron bits when smithing. Okay, axe. Yes. Awkward silence once again. Never mind. I'm currently trying to figure out when the server restart was. I think it was one of them was around this time. Well, time to get down there and attempt to remove a mistake. Or at least remove it partially, because yeah, if the light bug thing is going to remain, probably would have to go with full blocks and chisel those. Huh. What if I chisel the what's it called? The rocks. Also, where is William? Hello? William? Oh, there he is. Having fun. Okay. Okay, this is reasonably fast. Now, let's, you know, let's find out. Maybe this will magically cure the, like, tan line of this. Also, yeah. Going to make this a... It does not help. Well, full blocks it is. Unless it looks better when the... I'm just going to call it a tan line now. If that line is going to be below. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay. It is like blocking the light like a normal block would, but it does think it is a full block. Makes sense? Makes sense? Yes. I am very smart, yes. Okay, okay. Oh my god. Why? Bruh. Maybe... Okay, let's try to replace it again. Maybe it's some sort of... Maybe the bug from this did in fact infect, influence the other blocks. So let's clear that. And... Come on, I can. Great. Awesome. How do I turn these into normal blocks? Can I just slap these together? Oh. Oh, but let's collect all of this. What was this? 2 stacks? And use full blocks instead. Yeah. But do full chisel blocks have the same effect? Well, time to find out. That's the correct height. Lovely, correct shadows. And now, please. What if I make double the expensive slab? This works. This type of slab works. Wait a minute. Please, tell me it really does work. And that is how you fix that bug. Okay. Cringe aside, pretty cool that that does work. Okay. No. I'm sorry. Now I can save myself a good amount of time and wonder why I... Oh, okay. I cannot make this into boards. Yeah, let's just work with slabs for now. Get some food. And turn all of these into... chisel blocks. Oh no! Oh. Okay, does anybody know if the bug has been fixed that support beams completely die when they that they are weird when they are connected to chisel blocks? Because maybe the fix is just replacing one problem with another. Oh. How do I make a support beam? Beam. Oh, that is horridly expensive. Wow. What? Huh? Oh. How the heck do I debug? Uh, what the hell are you doing here? You're not supposed to be spawning. Oh no, I do have to replace them all anyways because they... No, I don't. Well, I can fix the bug, but... Let's see. I still have to remove them all because they are not going to allow me to place the fence. Yeah. Like I want to place it. Where's the... Oh, it's upstairs. Yeah, but I don't recall if the bug was fixed. I just know that it existed. Uh, but only 3 support beams for like 1 log? Seems a bit low. Oh, they are all on the other side. Makes sense. Well, time to collect them all. Okay, maybe light is not really all that helpful down here. Up. Okay. Okay, those are the chiseled one. Stop! Stop! Okay, let's quickly put these away. I wish there was a door that was big. Well, that can go in there for now. Let's continue. I mean, technically, I would have to make a few more of those. Let's make like 4 of these. And then compare how like a simply, or yeah, a a not too elaborately chiseled block looks next to these slabs. Because then I would basically chisel this to be like a sort of upside down stair. Maybe? That could work. I still have to make way too many lanterns. Oh. But at least there's a reasonable amount of traders around. Can I still change this? Oh, no. Let's quickly put this in the chest over here, so the inventory is not as cluttered. Pretty epic. Ugh. Anyways. I wonder how difficult it would be to implement the fences reacting dynamically to the slabs. Would be cool if I didn't have to do this right now. Yeah, same. Oh yeah, I still have to rehang the chandeliers. Oh no, I still wanted to get a third one over here. Yeah, still need to do that. I think, man, I'm dreading the running around for beeswax, because I mean, technically, maybe I could ask if I could get some of the beeswax that's over here at the floating bee farm. What the? I didn't. Okay, let's do that again. Only horizontal. Thank you. And these as well. Hey, cool. Epic and nice. Okay, time to make 3 of those. And prepare for some experimentation. Oh, I need... Come on. Please. What? Oh. Okay, let's make 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up, boop, beep, bop. And then right over here, correctly placed. Okay. And I don't know. Like this maybe, and then let's just make it simple for the sake of saving a bit of time. Up, up, up. Okay, I can barely see anything. Huh. Uh, eh, eh. What if I... Yeah, not really. By the way, this is just experimenting. Um... Hmm. You know what I just realized? You know, I was going like, damn, I cannot use these slabs when I chisel them because the support beams will make it look all bad. So instead I was like, oh no, wait, actually, yeah. Never mind. um, hmm. What if it just goes like this? Eh, 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 eh. Well, let's go and just experiment with the chiseled block. Let's make one of those support beams, and then for everyone's safety, go upstairs and do the experiment up there, unless so it doesn't like irrevocably break anything down here. Lovely weather. Yes, let's place it right here, where it will never fall into anyone's eye. Yes. Uh, help. Oh, I definitely should start planting things. Yeah, here works. Now, how the hell do I use those? Okay. Cool, interesting, it's moving. It's gone. What? 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 Huh? Was it me clicking weirdly, or why the hell did it use free? Oh no. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, I at least got them all back. Huh. Okay, let's do one. Okay, never mind. Let's do one. Brr. Okay, okay, I have to remove it from over there. Let's, I don't know, do it like this. And oh my god. Okay, for some reason that consumes all of the ones that you have in your hand. But maybe this is making the case for me not using support beams. Okay. What? What? Oh, well, that's a ripoff. How many? Come on. Oh, hold on. Put this. Oh. Okay. Okay, how many do I need? 20. 20 logs for that. What if I do it like this? Wow. What about this? Two beams for this. What? Okay, what about one like little puny poopy stick right here? Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. What the hell? Uh, Pretty cool. But let's do the part where the block is chiseled. Oh. Up, beep, boop, up. And see how that explodes everything. For no apparent reason. Wait, what? Okay. Let me guess. What? This is not a slab. Why did you connect up there? Okay, that does not work. What if I... Oh, let's try again. Best feature, 10 out of 10. Okay, there we go. What? Okay, I guess it doesn't really have... I guess the thing is not sure, so to speak, where to... Please. Where to connect, since the block is no longer a normal block. Okay, and... Can I now remove this, or do I have to live with the platform being here? Oh, no. And now I have to decide whether or not to go with staircase or... Of course, this is somehow differently chiseled than the other. But what? Where'd the other two go? Oh, is the bug that the thing gets consumed? Well, time to find out. Please. I know I'm asking for very long distances, but please. Okay, okay. Womp. Okay, looks like I would have to harvest an entire ebony, whatever tree forest to figure that one out. Of course, this is also something entirely different now. Hold up. Ugh. What? Okay, okay, okay. Okay, I get that. So this one now has preserved the beam. The other one, for some reason, not. Maybe because I removed the beam earlier. Okay. Okay, cool. Now I have that. Does it like show when it is in my hand floating? No, okay. Well, let's quickly eat something and then experiment with the catwalk, sidewalk area thing. Hey, but I'm pretty excited to see how the room full of pillars is going to look with a temporal storm going. Can I just... Can't I not just slap this on? Aw. Yeah, now I need to think. This might take a while. Now let's do a test with fences. Let's quickly remove this from here. Anybody have some ideas, objections, opinions? Looking at it like this, I mean, it doesn't work too well with the granite background. And yeah, I think the slab version looks too lonely, so to speak. Just seems to be sort of hanging there. While this, well, yeah. Looks more supported, I suppose. And since for support beams I would have to get a lot of things. Damn it. Where's William? Oh, there he is. How are you doing? Do you have any ideas? Oh, okay. This one looks like it doesn't have enough, and this one looks like it has too much. Also, now I'm thinking about chiseling the fence myself again. But what if I do that? Okay. Oh, this is not the fixed one. Oh, this is a lovingly chiseled one. Oh wait. Okay, once you have them chiseled, their position is fixed. Good to know. But let's see if I can, because, you know, well, okay, the defense is sort of in the middle, and I wonder how obvious the fence is going to be. If it is, well, on half a slab. Because, wait, is this too... Yeah, this looks odd. Yeah, because this is like too long. But the... Oh, there they are. And I think to be fair, I do not know what I am trying to say. Just be assured it is words. Okay, let's do that. That's too much. Okay, what I don't want to do is spend too much time chiseling, since you can't just, at least as far as I know, just copy a chisel block over and over. But yeah, I initially wanted to make my own custom chiseled staircase. I mean railing. But then I thought, yeah, the fence there, that's a good substitute. That's cheap, easy, fast, and at the end of the day is a fence. But yeah. Neato. Just for the sake of experimentation, ruin all of these blocks and chisel them. Okay, interesting, interesting. Does definitely do away with the stubbiness of this one in comparison. The fence sort of works out as well, and I do have the space of 2 for the walkway that I did want. So it might appear that yeah, this is big enough. Yeah, this seems like the better solution. It's a good compromise, and I don't have to not only figure out a good looking fence, but then also chisel them all the way around. Okay. Were those full blocks? Wow, what a mess. Yeah, I guess for the sake of conversion, I could just conversion of resources. Just use slabs. And then turn them all into chiseled ones. Since I, at least not now, intend to bother with any of the other blocks. And maybe for that I could make like a pillar sort of solution. Yeah. But more detailed experimentation, so to speak, I would like to do off stream, because yeah, it's so chiseled. Because that will take some time to figure out all of the all of the details. But yeah, let's go and make some corridor. Neato. Nice, and let's add this one as well. Oop. And also re-chisel those blocks into blocks. And then have them available for the future. Unless I just dump them into the hole for the lack of storage space. Okay. Good job. Oh, wait. No. Can I add block? Oh yeah, this is still plank. Let's see. Was loud. Yeah. That's a tiny bit irritating over here. Yeah, I think the single slab works better. Let's quickly turn all of this back into planks. Hello. Thank you. And just remove it all and then start again, and then have at least these done. I might add some debugged ebony log pillars, because the debugged log looking good, not too bad. Of course, do not. Those can't be stacked. And hey, neat. Oh. Well, time to place blocks again. 1, 2, 3. Almost there. Let's just do it like, excuse me, like this. Oh yeah, it's about to be fun time. Wait, let's quickly try to finish this. Because this room, even with like the few pillars that I had, did look wacky, to put it that way, to use a classic word. But very wonky and weird. Okay, William is in position. Hopefully he does not get killed. But since he does not engage drifters on his own, or at all, that should not really be a problem. Do I... do I have enough? Ooh. Faced. Faced. Okay, and... Ugh. Yes. I mean, it's only medium, so it doesn't look as weird as with a heavy one. Yeah. I might need to work on the entrance, but it still looks weird. Weird. Wow, so weird. I guess let's add more slabs. Do I even have enough? William should still be waiting. Oh, ooh, double-headed. Pretty cool, pretty epic. Oh. I'm just going to add support beams. But yeah, gathering all the stuff for that. Obviously off screen. Because that is going to take a moment. Whoop. Do I have enough to go around? Maybe, perhaps, by chance. William is having a good time. Doesn't seem like I have enough. Ouch. But I still do have a log, so... Ouch. Stop. Okay. Wow, epic. Well, time to fence. You are not allowed. This area is employees only. Please leave. But he does ignore William. That was not my intention. Ow. Ow. Time to run back. Oh, quite some lag. Let's take the bronze lantern for the lack of a better one. And contemplate why I did not reset my spawn point yet. Well, the answer is that I didn't want to set it anywhere before the house is finished, but I'm sort of finishing anything else instead of the house. But yeah. I still need to find a good floor material wood. I probably could stay with aged, but it does look depressing. The only reason I'm using aged is because the roof of the sod roof does have like the aged planks. So yeah. Walnut looks good. Yeah, maybe that. Unfortunately, oak, since it is so bright, does not really work all that well with granite. Ooh, I still need some planks for doors and stuff. I just did remember. Okay, let's not die to the wolf behind us. And make some car sounds, because why not? Don't all temporal storms have the same length? I think it was around 4 in-game hours. Should be over soon. Smile. Ooh. But I'm probably going to do the house stuff off stream, and then next time show it off. Hopefully. Okay, lovely area, looks good. Okay. And let's just get down again and continue to work on the thing. Hello. Oh, they all have left. Where's William? William! Is that him? No, that's a slab. Oh, there he is. But let's just wait until the storm is over. How much do I need for doors? Stop. Stop. Okay, that's just normal drifters spawning in. Okay. Yeah, let's stay up here until the storm is over. Seems like William has the right idea. And then just have them fall down if they make it up here. I guess I could use the opportunity to think where to put the doors and how big to make the rooms on the other end. Stop. I mean, behind each pillar I could start a nice little staircase that spirals up, or make it a sort of more elaborate thing. Stop. Okay, here we go. Hello. Yeah, all of these normal drifters are spawning because of the little hole that is over there. Stop. Luckily, drifters do have a tendency to kill each other, so that's pretty good. Ow. What if I go... Stop. Okay, what if I go up after the storm and sleep for a moment? Do they despawn? Hopefully. Wow. But yeah, the warping effect, although I say it quite often, very cool. Pretty nice. Okay. Let's go up to a like 2-hour sleep. maybe they will do magically, ow, despawn. Should I make this entrance bigger? Have like a double door? Yeah, probably. Oh no, no, if I make a double door, it's not going to be... It's going to be asymmetrical, because the middle path is 3 blocks wide. Damn it. Okay, let's go and place some fences. I'm not afraid of you. Maybe yes. Just do it. Well, time to run back. At least the... at least they will have all despawned. Yeah. Oh yeah, I still first need to run over all of the slabs, make them chiseled, so that they displace light correctly. And then all defenses and then even more chiseling. And I think after that I'm going to do some trying out for the staircase. What the f... I love you too. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, that's weird. Like a sort of half moon, almost solar eclipse thing. Yeah, I'm very phased. Let me quickly check on the map. Ow. How far away any potential ebony tree biomes are. A bit. Hey, but at least thanks to the translocator, half the way is done. But what if instead of that I try to figure out some elaborate chiseling method? Well, to be fair, that will probably end up in the same amount of work. So, You know, butterflies in the game are like cool and all, but if you spend too much time around them, they sort of all just start drowning in the water. Like look at them. It's so sad. You stand there, you have like 50 butterflies flying in front of you. You like look away for 2 minutes. Every single one is in the water. Ooh, I still want to do like a big butterfly enclosure thing. Basically a garden inside a big dome of glass. And lots of butterflies. But now I'm afraid that if I put some water in there, that they all eventually just fly into that. Oh. Do they despawn in winter? I guess they would. Oh well. the cube. Well, I still need to build the greenhouses over here, so I can plant my pineapple on time. Ouch. Since they do take a moment to grow, just 192 days unfertilized. By the way, the month length is currently set to 32 days a month. So, yeah. And the growth time of seeds and stuff, I think, automatically adjusts. I'm beginning to hate the entrances. Please, Tyrone, free block doors. When? Or 1.5 doors. Okay. It is time for checking where William is, and then... William? Oh, up there. And now for the joy of tapping every block. Okay, let's do it small. Thank you. Systematically. I think as soon as it says like a bony slab on the top with a like little box right next to it is when it has been turned into a slab. Yeah, but I need to remember to write the bug report so that it hopefully gets fixed eventually, maybe. Oh, but I think I do need a GitHub account for it. I mean, the Discord of the game does have a like bug report area, but it seems like it's better to make a ticket on GitHub, since I suppose when you look at the chat there, or the channel, a bug report can easily be overlooked if you have been like away for a day and there's like 500 new messages. Or maybe they have a moderator that compiles all of the bug reports in the Discord channel. Who knows? I don't. Why do they spawn so much behind the walls now? I guess it is because the lantern lights do not reach up high enough, and they use it as an excuse to spawn. I should work on getting a B area. Okay, this should be all of the slabs. Did you spawn over there? Okay, note to self, more lanterns. But okay, all of the light should be fixed. Yeah. Pretty good, pretty cool. Time to play some fence. And have a hole there so I can get up again. Dip, 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 dip. Aw, almost enough. And neato. And now for chiseling it all. or at least removing the border. Or perhaps it looks very lovely the way it is. Eh, eh, you know? Hmm. Uh, although I am a big fan of the idea, let's just chisel it away. Hopefully I do have enough durability. This is going to take 1 or 2 moments. But yeah, I should also make myself a little list of the things that I need for continuing down here. Definitely slate to make the lines on the outside. Maybe I could make here a little sort of central thing visually. That could be interesting. Okay, he just spawned right there. Okay, I guess I have to also light up the temporary underground hallway that leads to the hall. Ooh, I really hope that with the next update, or the update after that, we finally can get some more ruins and stuff. Hopefully with some extra clutter blocks. Would be cool. Should I turn on the elevator music? Maybe that makes this whole thing more interesting. Okay, halfway there. All of the drifters in the hall have lots of fun. I really hope that I can place candles on the spleffelums. That would be pretty epic. Okay, how does it look now? Ooh, let's do a composition. Yes, very close, very cool. Over here. Only really noticeable if you look at it. Well, let's continue with this run and then do another one. To chisel it right towards the edge of where the fence is. I wish you could make in the game without any mods some custom chisel shape. That would be really cool. But I really just want the copy block feature. Like, imagine if you want to make 8 detailed little pillars. Yeah, but I'm just going to try to make them round. Okay. Is this only for me a bit nauseating to look at? All of the little pixels coming down. Nice. And now, the sequel. even longer, even less anticipated sequel. Yes. This is... Does anybody really chisel on stream? Or is it as... I mean, this is... It does speed. It does speed, yes. I mean, it goes by relatively fast. Aw. If it would have been like half a pixel, I definitely would have removed that layer as well. Yeah, if you don't think about it, it goes relatively quick. How long is the reach on this? Let's just find out. Okay. Okay. Oh, is it possible to save yourself like little blueprints of chisel stuff? I guess not. Would be cool. Imagine how easy chiseling would be if you could just load in a blueprint that you, I don't know, downloaded from somewhere for a nice looking statue, and you just sit down, select the blueprint, and just wait, I don't know, a minute or two for the thing to doop, 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 automatically construct. Similar to like the copy layer function of clay forming. It would be pretty cool. Almost there. A third. Now this improves the experience. Yes. If it doesn't, please let me know. I hope my chisel is going to last long enough. No, frick. Wait, what? Ooh, okay, okay. I can extend the slab up until a full block. That's pretty epic. Pretty cool. Let's just test. What? Ah, okay. Ah, so if I add like a half a slab, that extends. Pretty cool. Come on. Soon we have one side done. I feel like the chisel is going to die before. Let's appreciate at least like how this line looks. Wow. Well, let's continue. Doo, doo, doo. Let's try to find a topic to talk about. Yes. Does Marvel show up on ProPix? I don't think it does. Oh, I still need to check out the one slate area. Yeah. Maybe that one has green marble. That would be cool. Ugh. Shouldn't you be able to use a saw for this? Yeah, please add a saw that has like the ability to cut off things like this way faster. Okay, we are closing in on the halfway mark. Almost there. Okay, and I think it might be sort of here. Yay, halfway. The chisel is not going to survive that. I think every single voxel... not really. I think every 2 voxels count for... Nope, every single one counts for durability. How about the hammer? At least the hammer doesn't go down. Ooh, one thing I wanted to do at some point, although it doesn't sound all that exciting. To be fair, it's probably more exciting than this. Wants to go down into the desert areas and look for meteoritic iron. To be fair, it doesn't really sound all that more exciting. I wonder if person is right, it's supposedly much easier to find in desert. So yeah, why not try that at some point? Then I can use... Oh no, I can't make meteoritic iron blocks. Those were creative only, I think. But it would be so cool. Imagine making like a cool glowing reflective lines when chiseling something. But I could make gold blocks. But it does seem to be a bit of a pain to find. Although quartz veins are everywhere. Yeah. Okay. When will this chisel expire? There we go. But okay, there we go. Well, let's quickly go and make a new one. William is having a good time. Oh. I hate this door. Ooh, what if I... Never mind. Oh. Bloop. Okay. Very well lit down here. Bloop. Okay, time to make one more iron thing. Hey. Time is almost 1 in the morning. Boop boop. Probably a waste. Oh, I still need to go and find black hole. Ginger did supposedly wanted me to show some black hole at the translocator over here somewhere. Yeah, over here. But I guess I misunderstood him, perhaps, and it was both black coal. I mean brown coal. Oh. Which was useful in melting the copper for the lanterns, but yeah. I still need to make lots of what are they called? Yes, iron blooms. To finally repair the blackguard armor. And maybe I should put this in a chest and put this one in a museum. Just need to find someone who can, for the museum set, finish the sword and the shield. Wow, what a view. Yep, that was worth it. Come on, faster. I can't get frick. I can't wait to go back to chiseling. And that's not enough. Up, up, up. But I still need to go and find some extra copper, because I did use up all of the copper that I had to make the lanterns, but I still need some to finish the windmill. So yeah. Huh. Oh, please don't. Please don't be one of those. Oh no. Oh no. No. Oh no. Oh my god. It is one of those. Did I accidentally hit a voxel wall? I hate these. I hate them so much. Well, I don't have a chisel, so let's out of principle just complete this. To just look at the missing pixel voxel in disgust and anger. Yeah. What? Oh, that's not an ingot, that's still a partially worked iron bloom. Well, there go my last 2 black coal pieces. Which, coming to think of it, I could have probably saved it instead, used the brown coal to heat this thing up. Maybe I can get some bits out of it. Yay. Or was that a mod thing that you could, like, get? Ah no, this only was valid for work items, wasn't it? That you could, like, let's see, work Minecraft. uh, yeah, maybe. Oh no, I'm out of food. Oh no, I still have some. Ugh. Hey, I still have cassava, and I can make that into bread. Hey. Oh, I also still need to make a bug report for the uh, textures. Ugh. Oh yeah, this also has no. Fair enough. Yeah. Huh. But yeah, remember kids, if you want your game to improve, report the bugs you find. Ouch. Okay, stop. Thank you. Huh. What are the odds that this is going to be another one? From the like sheer mass, I would suppose not. Let's be okay. Let's be very careful not to accidentally remove a voxel as I just did. But this seems pretty poggers. Pretty good. Nice. And now let me just separate this voxel and put it in there. Let me just slap it on. Wow. How's the hammer doing? Reasonably. Chisel. Okay, pretty good. Should I mean, I can test in a moment if I can get some iron bits out of the partially worked bloom. Otherwise, I could just throw it in the trash. Or what if I save it for the museum? Can I put it in display cases? Will it retain the form of a partially completed ingot? Hold. Huh. How hard? Not at all. Cool. Yeah, that's... I guess it just keeps being an iron bloom. Maybe there is a hidden voxel still somewhere. No. Oh, let's go and continue. Boop and boop. Burp. Yeah, that can go over there. Bruh. Bruh. Why? Yeah, let's continue. We're right here. And yeah, now this is gaming. I know it sounds like far-fetched, but more like wishful thinking. But what if one day the smithing mechanic allows for making like customized weapons and stuff, giving them like a smaller texture map which you can like, I don't know, paint or something. That would be cool. Like, imagine a sword with a giant, I don't know, car on it or something. Yes, a sword with a sword engraved on it. Yes. Hello. That would be pretty cool. But I wonder how much. Like, it would probably make some problems, like loading such small, detailed textures on low-end computers. Who knows? But I really want carpets. I just want to dye some cloth and put it on the ground. And not pay 20 gears for small black carpet that is 1 block wide. Come on. That was dangerous. You shouldn't do that. But what do I put in all of these side rooms? I mean, in one I could put a big kitchen. One I could maybe make a cheese room, but for that I would need cheese. A library room with books, but I want to make a public library to put all the law books in that I found, so yeah. Or I could keep them all, since at the community house, quote unquote, there is most of the law books anyways, including those from the Resonance archive. So yeah. Like a little chiseled chair with a like lamp on the table and bookshelves with books. Yeah. I'm just going to put signs in the room that says you enter the room and you see stuff. And then everybody who fails to imagine a very cool room gets like -1 fail OP. Yes. Also, although it doesn't really make sense since there is no RP. Wow. What? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, that looks... yeah, okay. Definitely better than chiseling all of the fence myself. Now, let's take a moment of like 8 hours to figure out how to approach the staircase. Yes. But honestly, I don't really like all that much how the colors work together. The contrast... I talk way too much about contrast every time I don't like how the colors look. But... anybody want to add some thoughts? Some comments? Some suggestions? Oh, I still need to get the second chandelier. Does it even fit? No, frick. Let's see. That was 8. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, this fits. Cool. I'm also going to, once I have the third chandelier, chisel this. Although I wish I had would like make chains. That would look pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. And now the big question is, do I make a staircase that goes here and then spirals on these sides? Like there's a spiral that goes here and then one here and then here would be the entrance area. Or do I put the things on the side? Frick. Hey, at least I did manage to do the thing that I wanted to do. Now, where do I make a hole to? Let's just get over here and... oh yeah, this is going to work pretty well. Just make a hole. Yeah, over there works. Math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 33 is a lot. Let me get out my enhanced mathematical skills, otherwise known as a calculator. 5 times 33 equals that, time blah blah blah. Okay, 2.5 stacks for each side. And I have... okay, let's open the calculator again. 529... loop loop 8. So I could make the floor out of rock like I initially wanted to do. That's cool. That's epic. Huh. But really, anybody want to give some ideas on the staircase? I'm currently having what is known as white noise in my brain, as to put it in other words, me no think. Yeah, but I would like spiral staircases on the side. How do I make stairs again? T-star. Stair. Let's get the cobblestone stairs. and use those as a stand-in to figure out how to make stairs, or just default to making just normal stairs. I mean, chiseled stairs, which is an adventure. Okay, here we go, and ooh, now I can test if the music still goes off when you go down. Bloop. Ooh, nice. But unfortunately, I really think the marble pillars are too bright. But I'm also thinking I should make the walls out of normal chat. I'm thinking too much. Oh. Let's get over here. Okay, let's stand here and have... Like, do I want a closed wall there that's just flat, or a wall with some mural over there? Or maybe have it open with a hole for the two spirals that go up? Hmm. Let's just make a hole and... Bloop. Bloop. Oh. Yes, this is enough room for extensive spiraling. I mean, I could extend. Nothing really speaks against that. Why? Okay, what was this? 3 or 4 high? And then, I don't know, 1, 2... Please. Okay, let's do it that way. Okay, and let's make some dirt as stand-in blocks, because why not? And then do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that means that right here is going to be opening. Okay, that's the correct height. Wonk. I mean, given the space, I don't really need to make spirals. I could just make normal staircases. Well, let's go and try a normal one. A good old boring, just sort of ramp with a few things going up. Yeah. Okay. Why? But what happens if I make a stair chiselable? Like, come on, why? I don't want to build anything that has a slab in it anymore. Just making weird lighting issues. And if I recall correctly, if staircases do get turned into chiselable stuff, they do change texture, I think. in a way. Hmm. Oh, well, I still have some blocks to fill up any holes that I would make. But let's be honest, that looks a bit sad. But what also looks sad is, this. I'm going to mention this like 500 more times before I stop. What if I just make it a small, sad door? Wow, the awe somebody must feel when they get in here. Anything more fancy? I mean, this one is 3 blocks tall, but it is 3 blocks tall. So, yeah. Ooh, 2x4 gate. It's big. 2x2 gate. 10. 2x4, that is... Yeah. Okay, I'm starting to more and more regret this idea. Wait, actually... Nah, the room is like asymmetrical. Not asymmetrical, but an uneven number wide. I think it was 33? Maybe. Yeah, this is why I would like to leave this part open. Okay, now hear me out. Boom. Now this. Isn't this inspiring? Doesn't this look cool? Yeah. At least William is having fun. Uh, let's just use a axe for shoveling. And that was chiseled. Yes. Now, bop beep, bop, and boop. 1, 2, and then the opening would be over here. Yeah. Okay, let's see how that looks upstairs. Okay, that's sort of where I wanted to have a door be. Yeah. I mean, on the plus side, if I do use a giant disk solution for staircase, I do not have to worry as much about what rooms to put here. I can just make one room extended. Well, let's go and make a few stairs. How many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. 16 stairs are required. How many of these do I need? Many. What is 16 times 3? It's a number. Certainly. Bloop. Bloop. That's enough. Perfectly calculated. The 2 don't count because they were here already. But do I want to make it out of wood? I don't know. Maybe? Did the staircase start here? Okay, pal. Stop it. Okay, pretty epic. Pretty cool. Neato. And boop. And boop. Those are in storage. Okay, at least I can make those chiseled. Oh my god. Well, at least the light issue is fixed. But yeah. Well, mostly. But it seems to be... This is some ugly looking stairs. Like who builds stairs like this? Yes, let's make the board go vertically to the stair. Excellent delivery of the line, yes. Oh. Huh. Okay, I'm still contemplating the removal of the pillars. But what is hard? Yes. Do I wonder how like the murals that I want to put here that show things. I guess 4x4 is a reasonable space. That show like, I don't know, the history of the server or something like that. If they would break up the... would make it look better. Or perhaps I would make it look like a scribbled on school table with all of the, I suppose, essentially graffiti on the walls. Huh. Let's remove this. And... looks a bit simple. Let's put it that way. What if I make it one higher? Does this help? Maybe next update the doors will be there. I'm just going to make a mod with a very badly modeled door that is free long. Yeah, it's the only way. Oh no. Okay, I've run out of food. Let's make... ooh, let's check how these poggers How do you, how, how do, how look? Thank you. Just don't mind the starving noises. Okay, hmm. Hmm. Not too bad, but let's quickly try to acquire some food. Boop. Chest. Beep. Okay, this doesn't really fit on any of these. And okay, that one was chiseled. Yeah, I'm on my way. Do I have any food? Not really. Oh, let's quickly collect the door as well. Yeah, this is going to be there for a moment. Hmm. I mean, what I could do is stop. Get some food from somewhere else. What? No, the only food that I have left is cassava. Pop, beep. Wow. What I wanted to say is I can't figure out how to get up there. Make the doors and stuff. Is there any berries? Any berries that have grown? No? Shit. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Let's get the cassava. Eat. Oh, god damn it. Okay, this is going to take some time because I will have to grind this. And then it's going relatively fast. Baked bread. So, yeah, I suppose I wanted to go only for 2 hours. And until next time I can figure out how to build this stuff better, like the details. And do some experimentation without... on my own, basically. Calm and collected. Up, up. And then... oh, wait. Then we'll see how this works out. Let's quickly close this up. But yeah, alternatively, this would be sort of the area where I wanted to have the staircases. Sort of here, and then there, and this is just ominous closed, maybe? Remove this. Yeah, that could be quite cool. How does it look? Bop, beep. But yeah. Okay. Good job. Beep boop. But yeah, that is it for today, I suppose. Let's quickly catch William. Try to get him back into his room, and then continue to do this another time. Probably not next time, but a time after that. Because I need to collect lots of stuff. Like the slate, extra chandelier, a ton of candle stuff. And more wood. And yeah, let's do an experiment. not what I wanted to do, but thank you. Now, what if I... Yes. How many trees would I need? Well, experimenting with that I will do off stream. I mean... Ah, frick. The mouse controls is a bit weird. Okay, this is obviously not final. Actually, sort of works. But yeah, I will get to removing an entire forest of these. And then, yeah. Yeah, let's quickly go back up. I think good progress. And maybe in like 1 or 2 weeks, I'm going to continue this particular part of the house. But yeah, next time probably going to make some greenhouses, or yeah, maybe the farm stuff, for which I also need to gather some resources. But yeah, that was it for today. The next Vintage Story stream is probably going to be on Thursday. But yeah, thank you for watching, and well, no wait, okay. But yeah, that's it. I hope that the stream was enjoyable, or at least somewhat entertaining. Thank you for watching and participating in chat, to those that did. The next Vintage Story stream is most likely going to be on Thursday, and yeah, I'm probably going to make some farm stuff and some paths, but yeah, thank you for watching, perhaps until next time, and goodbye.